Today I'm making JAPRAK. JAPRAK is a well-known dish throughout all the Mediterranean countries. Most of them they will use the wine grape leaves, but in Bosnia and Herzegovina they use the collards, which is the greens in the cabbage family. So you want to use the smaller and younger leaves for this, which they don't have too much of the veins, so they are nice to eat and soft, and they're also small, so they're easy to work with it. So you just cut the stalks, and then you will blanch those leaves with the hot water. You just leave them in for a minute or two, and then you also drain the hot water and rinse them with the cold water. So what this process does is soften up the leaves, so they are easy to roll, and also it will release any tartness or from the leaves, so they will cook much nicer and taste much better as well. So whilst that done, we're also going to be preparing zaprashka, or this soup thickening. So if you watch my videos before, I have done this quite a few times. So literally what you're doing here, you're browning the all-purpose flour on the oil, or here I'm using pork fattening or lard, which it's a homemade. I also have a video that's showing how to do it. This actually has a lot of the flavor, and it will add that flavor to the soup. So what you're doing, you're literally browning a tablespoon or two of the flour on this oil, and you'll do that for a few minutes until you see that the flour is starting to brown a little bit. You don't want it do it too quickly because it might burn for you. And once you see that, you add a little bit of the red paprika and then just stir it very quickly. Also, don't want to leave it paprika on the heat for too long, otherwise it will burn. So definitely you don't want that flavor in your dish. And then you just bring it to the boil until the flour kind of dissolves. You don't have to worry too much of not having a little balls in that. Like it doesn't need to be very smooth because you're going to be cooking for additional time, and all will dissolve when it's going to be cooking in the pot. So here I'm preparing the meat. So you can use whichever meat you want, pork, lamb, beef, or veal, whichever one you want it. You can mix them. Here I'm chopping the speck, or this is the dry smoked pork skin, whatever we call it, with the fat on it. So that also has a lot of flavor, so I'm adding that up just to increase the flavor of the meat. Chopping some parsley. I always kind of use half and half of the pork and beef. You can use the veal or lamb or whichever meat you like. It's really up to you. Also adding the parboiled rice, which is I find it works great for the longer cooking. It doesn't overcook. It still looks very nice when it's done. Also adding like 2 eggs, salt and pepper, and you will be mixing everything together. You can add like vegeta or any other spices that you want to it. It's really up to your preferences, what you like. Here I have the speck in there, that dry smoked meat, so that will just release so much flavor to the stuffing. You can also do the meat the night before and leave it in the fridge if you want it. That will just increase the flavor as well. If you don't, that's all fine. And once you have all that done, you will be rolling your stuffed rolls here, the green leaf rolls. So you add like a little bit of the meat in your, like it's about the palm size, and then roll them up like, and then close them on both sides, and this is how your rolls look like. So you do that as long as you have the meat, and depend how much leaves you have. This is a dish that takes a little bit of the time to do it, so you want to cook in a bigger pot. Depend of the size of your family, you might eat all this in one day, or you might eat it in a couple of days, or also you can freeze it. Once this is cooked and done, you can freeze it and then just reheat it on the busy night when you don't want to cook all over again. So you add that zaprashka to the pot, and also cover with the fill up the pot with the water just to cover it everything up. Add as much as salt as you want, or again based on your preferences. Then also I'm adding a little bit more of the smoked ham here that I normally use in the other dish, and that just also increases more flavor. And once it's done, it cooks about 40 minutes. You can serve this with the mashed potatoes or cornmeal, whichever one you want, and enjoy.